Probably not. You're right. No. You're right. Super Bowl champion Shaun O'Hara is here. We have Jimmy Palm Trees. James Palmer is here. Nate Burleson is here. Our show is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Yes, training camp is underway. 29 teams reporting in full today to join the other 3 that are already making it happen. And let's get to Tom Pelissero. He's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He was there for the shareholders meeting that went on yesterday afternoon. Tom, we were all on Aaron Rodgers' watch. It says this, not this morning, for the past 7 months and a million years, it feels like. What is the latest from Green Bay? And good morning.
Good morning, Kay. Local TV cameras captured Aaron Rodgers landing late last night on a private plane at the Green Bay airport. The Packers and Rodgers agent have been working to finalize a revised contract that will ensure Rodgers is in a Packers uniform for at least the 2021 season. And the hope and expectation is that deal will be finalized in time for Rodgers to report today with his teammates and be on the field for the first practice of training camp tomorrow. Now, for all the speculation, it's not a surprise that this is where this situation ended up, because really, what were Aaron Rodgers' options? Yes, he had talked and told people that he wanted or even expected to be traded at various points, but the Packers never entertained any offers. In fact, I asked Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy yesterday, is there any scenario he could envision even down the line where they would trade Rodgers? Murphy said, absolutely not. Sitting out was not really a viable option for Rodgers. He turns 38 years old in December, coming off an MVP season. He doesn't want to give up a year at this point in his career, and there would have been massive financial penalties. So this was the most logical outcome, and the Packers had worked behind the scenes for weeks and months to make this as painless as possible. In fact, Murphy said in that shareholder meeting yesterday, out of nowhere, that it's important to remember, even though fans might be divided over what's going on, to remember all the good things that Aaron Rodgers has done for the organization. Now, we don't know precisely what the mechanisms are in Rodgers' revised contract. We do know that he wanted security, he wanted power and control over his future, and this new contract should help us accomplish that, guys.
Now, Tom, there is a ripple effect. What's the Aaron Rodgers situation mean to all-pro wide receiver Davante Adams in his contract talks?
Well, Nate, you would certainly think that nobody's happier than Davante Adams that Aaron Rodgers will be a Packer in 2021 as Adams goes into a contract here. But talks on an extension were not in a good place when they broke off last week. Mark Murphy did express confidence in the Packers negotiator, Russ Ball, to be able to figure out a path forward here. For now, Adams is going into that contract year, due $13.25 million this season. And if no extension could be worked out, he's probably staring down a franchise tag in 2022. Now, Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, of course, had a little bit of fun over the weekend on their Instagram story. Both posted the same photo of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, seemingly referencing the Last Dance documentary. One of the lighter moments in Murphy's press conference yesterday was when he was asked, did you watch that documentary? Did you like it? Murphy said, yes, he did watch The Last Dance. He did enjoy it, and added, I hope Aaron can win as many rings as Michael. That would be quite an end to his career. Guys.
And hopefully he does that in Green Bay. Hopefully. We don't know what the future holds, but he is there today, and hopefully he'll be on the field. We'll have reports from you, Tom Pelissero, all day long. Thank you so much for joining us live from Green Bay. We've got reporters all across the map here today as training camp kicks off across the league. It's a special day. It's a holiday here. Football is back. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers. He's back. How will he be welcomed back by teammates as he shows up to training camp? Tom said it, James. Obviously, Davante happy he's there, at least for now.
First off, who didn't watch The Last Dance? Like, that's almost a rhetorical question to Mark.
That's
Murphy,
a fact.
Being like, did you see it? It should have been, what's your favorite part of The Last Dance?
Everybody was at home.
Everybody was at home. It was a pandemic. It was the best thing on television. We all watched it. But with his teammates welcoming him back, obviously they all know, with Aaron Rodgers, we are a Super Bowl contending team. I was at that NFC Championship game where they lost to Tom Brady and the Bucs. They were one really questionable play call away from heading to the Super Bowl. Without him, they are not even close to a Super Bowl team. We know how well he played. Obviously, they're welcoming him back. But to quote Shrek, there are layers to this, I think, because all the time he missed, Aaron Rodgers doesn't need more 7-on-7 throws. But if you remember what happened last offseason, the growth this offense had from the first year when Matt LaFleur was there to year two was incredible. Aaron Rodgers had a big part of that during the offseason when they got together and put a lot of that together in terms of changing the way they ran that offense. That didn't happen this past offseason. A lot of defensive coordinators had an opportunity to see the changes that they made this past year. They didn't have the opportunity to be together and adapt and grow even further. So I think that's something they did miss. So
they could be even better?
No, they missed out on that opportunity. So they need to hit the ground running with him returning. So I think guys, Shaun, are going to come in with open arms and say, thank you for showing up. We are now a Super Bowl contender. But I think it's also, we have to get to work.
It's eerie how similar Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre's career have kind of been, and especially as of late. I can't help but go back to a few years back when Brett was trying to figure out, am I going to play, am I not going to play? And I didn't throw for 4 months, and then he's throwing to some high school kids down in Mississippi. And then guess what? He decides I'm coming back, and he shows up on a private plane, lands in Green Bay, walks out with his wife, Deanna, I think, and they wave to the crowd, and it's like, Brett's back, here we go. It feels like the same thing here with Aaron Rodgers. Now, to your point, look, he was the MVP of the league. Appleton, Wisconsin was going to be lit when Aaron Rodgers showed up at training camp, regardless of all this drama. But the locker room aspect of it, to me, is kind of interesting because for the last few months, if I'm a teammate of Aaron Rodgers, look, I've had to dance. It hasn't been the last dance, but we've had to dance around these questions and all these concerns and is he coming back? So if I'm David Bakhtiari and I'm in that locker room, look, I'm gonna be like, listen, man, we got to hug this thing out. I thought I was in the know, and now I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna press play right here on this playlist, and you know what's playing? Okay,
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Read.
Okay.
Oh.
With arms wide open.
I like
the star of that
is
is
far better.
Well, I just heard the news today.
There he is.
It seems our season
Scott
change.
Strapp, the legend.
Scott Strapp cannot be in the 7A Block, Nate. I'm leaving.
No.
Ooh,
there he is.
I cannot.
Live and in person.
So you think there's going to be a little weird, we have to hug it out? I think they're having an all-time legend
there won't
back
be any
in the
weirdness.
locker
I
room.
think they're going to have some fun with him, though. He's got a great sense of humor. You know, maybe they start out with a little human prison or my own prison that they felt like they were in. But yeah, they're very welcoming. There's going to be no issues, no hard feelings. But really, let's get back to work, man. We were so close.
Yeah.
We were there.
Yeah, no issues when it comes to the X's and O's. But I do believe behind the scenes, there's going to be some conversations, some real deal conversations. And to quote Donkey from Shrek, I just know before it's over, I'm going to need a whole lot of serious therapy. Look at my eye twitching. Okay, so that was Donkey, and they are going to need some therapy. I do feel like they're going to have to walk into a room, close the door, cut out all of the outside noise and influence, and just have a real conversation about expectations this year. And if they do want him to come back in 2022, what will we need to do to convince you? Because right now it does seem like it's a foregone conclusion that this could possibly be Aaron Rodgers' last year.
And there's another small part of this. That little rumor coming out about Aaron Rodgers maybe wanting Randall Cobb to come back to the organization. What do you do if you're a teammate, Shaun, and now your quarterback has some sort of say over the roster? If you're a middle-of-the-road player.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, you better make sure you know how he likes his coffee.
Yeah. Shaun, you've seen this before, though. It happens. If you're a big dog on the roster, you could bring in your homeboy who you played with in the past, your old college teammate, and to keep it real, even some guys that aren't even good enough to make the roster.
Tom Brady.
If you have that same type of influence. Yeah, Tom Brady, but it's a little bit different because Tom will bring back a superstar. You can't argue with a guy like Gronk or some of the players he played with. I wouldn't be surprised if Julian lands in Tampa, but that's a whole different conversation. But I just feel like right now, this is all water under the bridge when it comes to football. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. He's going to be great. I'm not sure if he's going to be the MVP he once was because people forget the offseason is here for a reason. So him showing up a couple of weeks before this thing really kicks off, then there could be some issues. There could be some things that they could have worked on over the past 3 months that they missed out on. And that's why I feel like he might stub his toe just a little bit in the beginning of the season, and it's expected.
Does knowing that it might be your last chance to play with an all-time legend for a year, is the effect on the locker room going to be that potentially that magic that we need to take out Tom Brady in Tampa Bay? Is it?
That's a great question.
Michael Strahan, I do believe, retired the year after he won the Super Bowl. Did y'all know he was going to retire? Did that light a fire under you? Because that's what I'm expecting to happen in the locker room today.
Yeah, we experienced this in 2007.
Tell me about
doesn't show up to training camp. We're up in Albany. We actually dressed William Joseph up in the '92 jersey one day. yesterday and let him walk out because it had been like 2 weeks into camp, and we're like grinding. We're like, we need some laughs. So William Joseph wore Strahan's jersey out to practice with the helmet on, and the fans went nuts. They thought Stray had come back. They didn't realize that it was William Joseph. But when Stray did come back, oh, man, we were excited. We were so happy that he came back. We had a feeling he was going to play. He just didn't want to be there for training camp. He's at Stray, and he's training in Hermosa Beach and, doing what he was doing back then. But there was no issues whatsoever. He was a little gassed that first game back because he had to get his game legs underneath him. But having a guy of that caliber, a leader, knowing how special he is to the team and how much of an impact he can make on the field, it's huge. And I know for everybody there for Green Bay, they feel the same way about Aaron Rodgers.
It's this last dance effect that might be weirdly a weird thing. Everyone made fun of the post, but there might be some truth to that. And I think the only person probably maybe sort of not excited to see him is Jordan Love, which is going to play a huge part, by the way, in Aaron Rodgers, in the future of the Packers. We have to watch this kid's development over the next year, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what Jordan Love looks like.